Happy New Year, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome back. 2019. It's my very first Stitch With Me in 2019. And I've got big plans for the year. So as you can see, I'm starting off with a beautiful design this year that is from Sampler Cove. This is a series, one in a series of 4 called the Flourish series. And here's what it's going to look like when it is done. And it's called Dido. So there you can see the title. And now I am not using the called for threads. I've done a substitution. So the called for threads that you're seeing here, oh dear, and I don't have that page with me. I can't tell you the called for threads, but it's 2. The red green one is a variegated, and then the gold is a much more mildly variegated. I think they're Glorianas, if I'm not mistaken, but I just don't remember what they were. My conversion, I've done this, I've kitted up all 4 of these patterns. I have them waiting in the wings. I would like to finish this one this year, and I won't be starting any of the other 3 until I might start another one next year. But this year's focus is on finishing up some big whips. So my threads that I'm using are from Gentle Arts, and the goldish color is Old Hickory, and the lovely purple is a Grape Arbor. So there's some really, really slight variegation in there. It's a tonal, very mild shift in tone, and you can just see a little bit here. Not really. I'm not sure the camera is actually picking it up. It's very subtle, and I love it. I just love it. So over the month of December, I worked quite a bit in here and finished all of this up. And so what I've decided to do stitching wise this year is change my high T starts up to be sort of my signal to celebrate switching over projects, because I'm sure you know by now, by no stretch of the imagination, a monogamous project stitcher. And so this allows me to feel like I've got some variety, but also that there's going to be something to look forward to coming up in the future, and that I don't have to work on a project if I'm not really feeling it. So I am doing more than 1 project a month. I'm going to concentrate on 5 projects a month. Now I'm going to sneak my pattern page right here so that I can see what I'm doing while I talk to you. Hopefully there. And you can still see the whole design. I'm going to be focusing on 5 projects, 3 stitching and 2 knitting every month. And now let me see, where am I? I am, oh, and I just finished that up there. I'm actually not in the spot where I thought I was. So I'm gonna carry my thread. I don't like to just carry it without tacking it down. So if I can tuck it down neatly in the back and get to my next location, that's what I'll do. And then I'm going to have less chance of developing knots on the back of my work. And if it's too far away, then I'll clip it and restart the thread in a different location. Okay, so let's go. Where am I? Let's go to the right. So I've got my frame is a little further away from my face than it normally is when I stitch. So I think I'm going to be okay to see, but I may have to adjust the camera angle in a minute if it doesn't work. Okay. So getting back to 2019 plans, I will have 5 focus projects every month, 3 stitching, 2 knitting. And 2 of those stitching projects will be large. and one of them will be a medium to small. So for this month, I have decided to focus on this piece, Dido. This one's on my floor frame. And I have Rosewood Manor's corners and curves on set up downstairs on my lap frame. It's a Kay's Creation lap frame. This is a Hearthside Craftworks floor frame, and I like both. If I had to choose one that I prefer over the other, I would probably choose my Hearthside, because the quality of the product is, I think it's just fantastic. I love it. I can't say enough good things about my floor frame. I do have plans to get a Lowry in the future, in the near future. I had toyed with the idea of getting one for Christmas. I got an Light instead, which I love. So I am saving a few pennies up to purchase myself a Lowry in the very near future, in which I will be using so that I can use my Q-snaps with that. So the corners and curves is on my Kay's Creation lap frame downstairs. It's a big one because it's a 2/2 on 28 count, and it is not a small project by any stretch of the imagination. So that's going to be a big one. And why don't I go this way? And then my medium to small focus piece that I'm starting with is my Ginger Gerald Stories from the North, the part 1 with the heron in the most gorgeous blues. And I love that pattern so much. It reminds me of the cottage, which was the whole point, the whole purpose that Gerald designed that to, help us think of wildlife and the beauty of nature. And I love that one. And I can't wait to finish it, because my goal for that's going to be a 5-part series. I believe Gerald has released the first 3, and I am going to be stitching those on individual pieces of linen, and then I'm going to turn them all, I'm going to not quilt them, but I'm going to piece them together with a fabric for a wall hanging. That's my plan there. Now, I did something I didn't mean to do. I meant to do that so that I would be able to come back. But never mind. Talking to myself. So yeah, those are the plans for the month. 2 knitting projects. One will be a pair of socks. The other will probably be a wrap for this month. I finished the one wrap that I showed the other day. That one is done. Now I need to come here. So I have a pair of socks on the go. I'd like to finish both socks of the pair. That's going to be my new good habit, is that I can't cast on a new pair of socks until both socks are complete of the pair. And I finished a wrap, so I have another wrap. It's a pattern by a very dear friend from the Netherlands. Her name is Josh Mole, and she is a knitwear designer. And I just love Josh. And so I'm knitting her Welmood. I'm sure it's pronounced Velmood, I think, shawl. And I am almost done. I am 15 rows plus something called a picot stitch bind off from being complete. And then that one is going to be done as well. So I might have 2 big knitting finishes this month, which is kind of exciting. All right, so I've done this one. Now I'm going to carry my thread back to the middle, get myself back to the middle. Now we'll work down. And Bob's your uncle. So 3 stitching, 2 knitting, and then when I celebrate high tea on the last Sunday of every month, those 5 projects will change. And the beauty of that is if I manage to finish something during a month, then I get to add in another new project. So that's why I really want to have a small to medium project that I tuck in there at the same time, because I've got a very good chance of finishing those, which is where all of my new start ornaments are going to start to come into play. So that by the time Flossmas 2019 rolls around, I may have some finished ornaments or finished stitched pieces that are ready to be fully finished. And that's kind of exciting. So I'm not going to be really, super strict with no new starts or stitching entirely from stash. My plan is to focus on my stash, but stitching is supposed to be fun. And if I would like to start something for my birthday or something like that, then that's what I'll do. But I don't really, I will not be purchasing more stash this year for my birthday. I have already decided that because I spoiled myself rotten last year on my birthday with some samplers from Scarlet House, and I have not even touched them, which is, first of all, shameful because they're gorgeous and I can't wait to get them started. But I have enough. I have enough. And so, birthday this year, maybe I'll choose a special thing that I have finished that's in my stash that needs to be framed. And that will be my present this year. It's having something beautifully framed so that I can enjoy it on my wall. So far so good with the, as I said that, I've gotten to a point here where the linen is a little bit closer together, and I have to make sure that I'm going to, there we go. Just adjust my glasses a little bit here. That's better. It's been a while since I recorded a stitch with me. Feels nice to be back in my chair, chatting with everybody. I am still waiting to hear from Beagle Paws with a total of money that we raised. The initial email that I sent to them, apparently they never received. I had reached out to Patty Brake in Newfoundland to contact them and fill them in on maybe ask if we could know how much good we'd done for their organization, because I think that that's an encouraging thing to know. And they had never received my email. So I'm going to, Patty has now been in touch with them, and they were indeed wondering where the donations had started, pouring in from. So they were very pleased, very, very pleased and touched that we had chosen their organization, and Patty is working to get us a number. I'm hoping to have that for Monday Floss Tube to share with you and everyone who donated. Congratulations again to everyone who won something. I still need to finish contacting everybody. Most of the winners have contacted me, and I do need to write you back. But I have been busy sewing. I'm trying to get those pre-orders done and out the door for Evertote. The coffee bags are now finished and on their way. And today, my job is to start in on the chickadees. So I had hoped to have all the pre-orders out by the end of this week, but I just don't think it's going to happen. We've having my children at home for the holidays, and we had a lot more unexpected company than I had thought we were going to have. What am I doing here? This is the one in the middle. Better check the pattern. That's always a good idea, isn't it? Okay. And so I am still working very hard on getting all of your bag orders complete, the pre-orders out the door. But it is taking me a little bit longer than I had hoped. So again, thank you for your patience. There will be no new bags in the shop until all of the bags that are currently on order have been completed and are out the door. And that unfortunately has to also include the 4 winners, the 4 bag set winners. I will get to those as quickly as I can next week. There's this. Now, does this one? Yep, I'm in the right spot. Okay, so far so good. This one does touch at the top corner here, and I am starting to run out of thread here. So let's see if we can do one more. So those who stitch regularly on linen know, the beauty of the linen is that it's uneven. Sometimes the difficulty is it can be slightly more of a challenge to see in certain places, especially when it's really small. There we go. All right, so let's end that thread. I'm going to tuck this a few times. It feels a little bit loose back here. Not solid stitches. There we go. I don't know if that made sense what I just said, but you know how when sometimes the spacing of the stitches are slightly farther apart, I like to anchor them a few extra times just to make sure that they're nice and secure. There we go. Okay, so let's see, where are we now? Oh, isn't that pretty? Oh, it's so pretty. It's so effective, isn't it? I mean, I've been stitching for just under 20 minutes. And look at how it just sort of comes to life there. It's so beautiful. All right, I only have a few stitches left in this little guy right there, so let's finish him up. This is, in case I don't think I've said this already, this is 1 strand of thread over 2 on a 40 count white linen. Beautiful, beautiful linen. So let's come from down here. Doesn't want to cooperate today. I think, yes, I did. I grabbed some of the linen in there, so let's try that again. Hopefully my hair is think my hair was probably right in front of your face for a minute there. I had to take my face nice and close. That's better. I had a shower this morning, so hey, my hair is clean. Lucky you. Fancy. Okay, let's finish this. Just a few more stitches there. Oh, nice new length of thread. Lovely. So corners and curves and Dido are my two big pieces. And I am going to keep the other new big starts a surprise for you, for high tea, for when I switch them over. I already know full well what I am switching over to. But I'm not going to say a peep until high tea. It's going to be fun. And now my only other question is for Friday Off the Grid videos. Would you rather see more progress done on one piece, or would you rather that I alternate my pieces every week? 2, 3, 2. So 3, 2, 1. Good. Done. All right. Now I have to end this thread because there's nothing else around. So nice brand new thread for about 4 stitches, 5 stitches there. That's okay. Let's do a double little Bargello tuck there. Done. So I guess my question to you is, would you rather see progress on one piece, one big piece, or would you rather that I worked on my 3 stitching pieces, 1 per week? And I'm happy with either or. So what I'll do is if you care, leave me a comment below, and then I'll go with the majority, because I'm happy to be stitching on anything. So whichever you'd prefer. Now I have this nice new length of floss. So how about we come in? Let's see. How about we come in here at the bottom and start to finish up this little guy here. These are so pretty. There we go. Now next week's video, hopefully, unless I haven't ruined it by then, I am going for, believe it or not, I'm going for a manicure on Sunday morning with my daughter. I cannot remember the last time. I mean, I think I've had 2 manicures, professional manicures, my entire life. I'm just not a manicure kind of gal. But Sarah and I are going in for a little treat, and she is thrilled. And I thought, this is her last year of high school. It would be something fun for her and I to do, a memory to share for the future. So I am setting aside my awkwardness at doing that sort of thing. I'm really not very good at those kinds of things. Lots of women love going to the salon or the spa. I always end up feeling like a fish out of water in those places. But you know what? I am really looking forward to doing it, with spending that time with Sarah. So we are doing that on Sunday morning, which means that if I haven't completely ruined it by next Friday, you'll get a nice close-up of what will hopefully look like a manicure. This time of year, it's all about cuticles, isn't it? And if you live in a cold climate and you have forced air heating, or whatever kind of heating. It's just this time of year, isn't it? People get very dry skin, and hands, when we stitch, the threads tend to snag on cuticles, and our dry skin. I tend to use a few different things. One of my favorite things in the winter, and I've shared this before, and I have it right beside me so I can share it with you, is Burt's Bees cuticle cream, lemon butter cuticle cream. And I only use it, you know, I just dig each nail, the side of my nail, into the pot, all 10 fingers, and then rub it in just to my cuticles. And it smells nice, and it softens them up, and it doesn't make the rest of your hands overly greasy, though I do, you know, I really try not to, I try to wipe my fingers off before I start stitching. But it does help with the dryness of the cuticle. All right, now this one's going to go all the way to the bottom. It's so pretty. So yes, Sunday morning. Can you imagine me going to a spa and having a manicure? I can't quite imagine it yet, but we'll see. I think it's going to be fun if I go in with a good attitude, right? And I'm already happy to be spending time with Sarah, so that's nice. It is Friday morning here. I guess I should have started that at the beginning of this video, shouldn't I? But I didn't. Terrible. It is Friday. It is now 11:50. So hopefully this video will be up. Well, for sure this video will be up by 6 o'clock my time, 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, so that we can all stitch together tonight for Friday Off the Grid. If you're new here, the whole concept of Friday night stitching, the Friday Off the Grid Facebook group, is that wherever you are in the world, we try to have a 6-hour stitching, whatever you want to call it, a party or a sit-in, or, you know, just whatever you want to qualify it as. It's trying to take a large chunk of time to sit and put some really good progress into whatever project that you're working on, so that you can enjoy, you know, a bit of selfish stitching time. And then we share our progress pictures on the Facebook group. Now I'm really, really good at, I love commenting on everyone's picture. I do my best. It's a very, very active group. It's easy to miss stuff all the time. I try to check in really frequently, and you know, it's inspiring. It's just an inspiring group. And I tried my best to catch everyone's photo, but it's such a busy group. It's easy to miss stuff. So anytime you go on and sort of scroll through for some inspiration, it's fantastic. I'm not always very good at posting my progress pictures, but sometimes I feel a little funny posting my pictures because I'm showing them here. I show them in the video, and I then show Monday floss tube. I talk about my picture, my progress then. So it sort of seems a bit like overkill, and, you know, I don't want people to get sick of it. But I mean, it's what I wouldn't get sick of seeing your stitching all the time. So I should just post my pictures more often. I like to post funny little GIFs, those, I always say, the way I pronounce it, it sounds like gifts. It's not a gift, it's a GIF. The funny little, you know, either a Simpsons or some funny thing on Friday, just to celebrate Friday and the fact that it's time to think about all of our stitching friends all around the globe. Now, see, I don't really want to come over here. I want to be down here. And I don't want to carry, I know it seems fussy because it's only about 5-6 stitches, but I'm gonna tack that down so that I can come back down to the bottom. To me, doing this the order of going around. There's no blob in the middle because it's over here. So I'm going to come down the bottom 3 stitches. There we go. Let's finish these 3, and then I think I'm going to have to wrap it up because I think we're at about half an hour chat time here, and I have some sewing to do. So 3 more stitches down at the bottom, and I'm going to bring my needle up to the top on the 3rd leg of this stitch. Third leg, 2nd leg, top leg, 3rd hole. There. 2nd verse, same as the 1st. And I have got my coffee needle minder, and I'm going to bring that over here, and there we go, nice and secure. Oops, and hopefully I wasn't working out of the camera shot the whole time there. Anyway, so there we go, there we have it, Friday stitching. I'm going to be working, I'm going to put in some work until about 8 o'clock tonight, and then I'm going to sit down and have a few hours of stitching time tonight with the family. Kids are still on Christmas holiday, so I don't want to be working the whole time that they're still home, and then get up early again in the morning tomorrow and get back to work. Okay, so that's it for me today. Happy Friday, happy 2019, happy stitching, and I will see you on Monday for Monday Floss Tube. Have a great weekend, everybody.